So far, they're pretty well cut and dried. I think is there any discussion on it as far as, did anybody find anything there that was,
Scratch out?
we need to raise a hand or something?
I think it covers the bases.
Take a motion. Make a motion, we accept resolution 2024-002.
I'll second that.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Motion passes. Old business, update Kg&T status. Yes, this, Bill.
I
Ralph.
did reach out to, our attorney today to get an update, and he said he has not heard from their attorney on it, but he was gonna reach out to them. But I did request a phone meeting with him, I believe that was on
You mean the
Tuesday. Yeah. Because he said, oh, the attorney reached out to me and said that everyone's on vacation, and so they aren't able to adhere to the 10-day, so they need more time. They're requesting 3 weeks, so I told them 3 weeks, and I was like, hold on. And so that's when I requested a meeting. I was like, at this point, like, we're just granting extenuating time after extenuating time. Like, is there any, like, are we putting parameters around this? Are we saying, okay, but you have to give us a weekly update? Or, they said they had an engineer who dropped out of it. Both the attorney and I think that's probably because the engineer doesn't want to put his seal of approval on it. So they need more time to contact other people. So anyway, he said, well, at this point, we're gonna go ahead and let them do the 3 weeks, and then after that, and he's like, then at the end of the 3 weeks, if they don't respond, which he suspects that they're not going to, then it's gonna be, okay, you have 1 week, and we are gonna go ahead and pay for the project and pass the cost on to you. So basically, at the end of the 3 weeks, he's giving 1 week, and then we're moving ahead to incur the cost ourselves, make the repairs, and then bill them.
So it's
When is
all
the
about-
3 weeks up? What day?
2 months ago.
Right. I believe it's the 23rd. So.
What kind of repairs are we gonna do if they don't respond? You say we're gonna go
Well, that's
together.
the thing. I'm like, I know that we're discussing the Ralph's one because that's in the parking lot,
Yeah.
that's the traffic rated one. But it's not our only tank that the cut has been made on. And I said, and that's the problem. I said, Ralph's has been being used as the example piece to get a structural engineer in there to know what our bigger picture is. But like, okay, so then we move forward with the Ralph's one. What do we do with the other ones?
What do we do with the Ralph's one, my question?
Yeah, he
That
says
decides
get in
what we're
there.
gonna do on the other one.
Yeah.
But we got to remember here,
Well, we have to get our own structural engineer to.
so the tank does not belong to Kg&T, it's our tank.
It's our tank.
It's our tank, it's not designed, perhaps,
Mhm.
we don't know that for sure either, for the conditions that it's actually in out there, but it's our tank.
Yes.
It's not Ralph's, it's not KG's, it's our problem to fix. KG made it worse. They probably shouldn't have cut the hole in that one in the parking lot without having a little better plan, and then not putting a traffic rated
Yes.
vertical on it was an error. So yeah, they have some liability here, but part of the liability is ours. It's our tank.
At what point do we just fix it?
Yes.
That was my question.
At what point do we just fix it, and if we can get Kg&T to cover a portion, all of it?
And then I talked
I
to the
mean-
attorney about the insurance claim portion, he
Right.
said, yes, absolutely take that route, we need to get this to our insurance.
I don't know if we should even wait for Kg&T anymore. I mean, you've given them, you've CC'd me on every
Yeah.
email.
So
and-
here's another thought, and that is if our insurance is gonna take care of it, would they then go after Kg&T?
Yeah,
And
they
then,
would, and that's why our attorney suggested,
And
because I told him, I was like, I
KG&T
need to, he's
starts
like, oh,
charging
that's a good idea, I'm like,
and everybody starts-
but,
We cannot fix that. We cannot go in there and say we're gonna put risers on it like we're talking about without first having a sign off from a structural engineer on it. So not knowing what we have, our real, at this stage, our real only option is to take that out and put a new one in.
Replace.
And I would not, I
argue-
would not recommend that.
I would actually argue, yeah, I
Yeah,
would recommend it either. I think there's a pretty simple engineering solution,
Yes,
and that's called a cap of some sort. So,
yeah, but.
structural cap.
But we don't have that, so.
Yeah, we just gotta get an engineer to say, and then it could be done in 2 days.
Well, and that's what they should have been doing all along.
So do we just
Granted,
pay our engineers to give us a resolution, take care of it, and then go back to them for
that's where I
the
believe.
I'm
money?
not
I would think so too.
It's our
because
tank.
Yeah, but our
We've been
engineers
chasing
aren't
this
structural
way too
engineers,
long.
At least the ones we're dealing with right now. Our engineers are.
They may have some in their office.
They may have someone in their office.
Well, I may not take a true structural engineer, like for a building, for earthquake and all that, no. A normal engineer, civil engineer should be able to go within their practice to make that design.
I'm sure they've got the staff
I
down
don't know,
south.
for years now, we've used nothing but structural engineers for anything having to do with
It's all
concrete structures, whether it's water
Equations.
tanks or septic tanks or.
I mean, they're designing complete rehab on a water tank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have we had any indication of any structural failure? I mean, I walk over there.
When it happens, it'll be fast. When it happens, it'll be fast. And it won't be, it's not a huge tank, so I mean, like kill somebody most likely, but you can end it with the rear end of a truck in it.
Yeah, it'll take a tow truck to get somebody out.
Well,
Well, it may take a crane.
For low, okay, if you got four-wheel drive, you'll get
I put enough
I'm not worried about the
mixer
truck
trucks
getting
in
out.
septic tanks to know
Oh.
that it takes a crane.
I'm worried about the people getting out that may end up in
it. Thank you. That
Little
supersedes
stickers.
property damage.
the trucks can be replaced.
So yeah, that's where we're at. The next thing is to make the insurance claim. I know the insurance is gonna wanna get their attorneys involved to go after them, so that's my next route.
Well, I'm not sure it's a matter of where we go after them. I think it's, we have to come up with a solution, and I think it's an engineered solution, and then we just get it done. And they have some play in it because they actually made the cut, but it was, did we direct them to make the cut?
No, this is the solution.
Even without the cut, it wasn't rated.
Right. Not the fiberglass riser or whatever.
What was there, what we owned is really no worse than what it is now.
No,
I mean,
but what you mentioned about the concrete risers coming out with the cone, the plastic cone inside of that would make it,
that would make it legit.
maybe, should be. But, yeah, I would be comfortable with it, but I wouldn't wanna say that I'll be financially responsible for it.
Engineers get paid for it.
Yeah.
That's why they charge $200 an hour like an attorney.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, we've got
Should I
tons of
pull-
this stuff
should I
out
ask
there
for a
from years
motion?
ago.
I'll take a
so.
motion if somebody wants to.
I make a motion, we direct who's our engineer of record? Who, we have one for the construction job, and then we have one who usually does our normal.
Well, it's an engineer, Kyle or Ben, but then they would have their own structural engineers.
Well, that's up to them, though. I'd say they can hire outside their practice or not.
For our water upgrades, yes, it's killer. And that is also what we're using for other engineering as well, is it not? We don't have,
Yeah,
It was
I mean, they
J&B
were
at
my
one
first,
time.
they were my first, go-to when I said, hey, here's this, here's what I have, here's all the pictures, what do I have here? And
obviously, it's.
I got like a, well, I don't know,
it-
we'll
it's-
pass it on to this person, and I was like, okay, cool, and they were like, yeah, it doesn't
It would
doesn't
be a
look good, but we
completely
don't know,
separate
you're
issue
gonna have
for
to get
Keller
a
Engineering.
professional. So it didn't seem like there was
Aside and
anyone
apart
there in
from-
that office.
Well, did we
They
really
did come-
authorize them to do it though?
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
when I passed it over to them, it didn't
Yes.
seem like they felt like they had anybody in their office who felt
Well,
knowledgeable
maybe
enough
not
to
here, I'm
talk
sure they
about
do
it.
down south, if we say,
Yeah.
Yeah.
we need to get an opinion on it, they're big enough to be able to do that.
But they did come out when we had the on-site meeting to review the situation. They did come out, they were
Yes.
there.
In October it happened.
Yeah.
And I think what makes me a little bit nervous about the whole thing is, you know, if you have something going with that triplex and that stuff is coming out of the mountain, Kg&T is the only one that has the capability
Yes.
of keeping up. There's no one else in the area that can do that. I sure would like to be on their good side, but I don't know how it's gonna
And
happen.
we
At
don't
this
want- we
point,
don't
I'm
want
actually
them to-
really worried about the being for the district's best interest and why we're still so determined to work back with Kg&T at this
No, I'm
point.
just simply
They
saying only
refuse,
because,
they overbill us,
Right.
they refuse to respond to us, their work is shoddy. where's our liability? Who are we beholden to?
Well, I
Who's the
get all
district?
that.
And I don't even know if I, at this point.
Well, I
I'm
get all
going
that,
to-
but in terms of the capabilities with the trucking and whatnot, for some massive spill or something, there isn't anybody else in the area
Yeah, it
that's
costs us
capable.
tens of thousands of dollars at this point.
Yeah, that's right. Anyway, just putting it out there, I mean, I'd like to say, yeah, we got this person to go to kind of a one-stop shop, they can do it all, they get all the trucks they need to keep it pumping.
I agree with
I
Mr.
stress,
Krasinski on this,
Yeah.
absolutely. We use KG&T on a number of sort, and in an emergency.
yeah.
So who's
Bill
gonna do the
Sh- Bill
babysitting on them when they come into the area?
Wait, what?
Who's gonna do the babysitting?
Well, I'm
when
not
they
even
come
saying
into
for
the area?
regular pumping, I'm saying I would like to be
Yeah.
able to resource them if there's nobody else that could, hey, we have a catastrophic failure somewhere.
No, I get it, I've been a little disappointed they had an opportunity here to
Yeah,
respond.
I'm
in a very
disappointed too.
professional
Yes.
manner, and they,
They've had plenty of opportunity,
They
they've
haven't
had
done
plenty
that.
of money off of us too, some of it overcharged.
Yeah, I agree, 100%, I
Yeah,
agree
they
with
just
that.
zero
I don't understand
response
it.
on
You got
thousands of dollars.
Every-
opportunity to
billed
solve
us.
something for a
Every
customer here,
response-
and they love you.
They could have been making money on this instead of fighting it with this
Every
way.
response Jesse sends out,
Yeah,
I read that,
Yes.
and then I see the response
I do
back,
too.
and I get my hopes up, and every single time is the dog ate my homework.
I was a business owner. couldn't even
Every
do that.
single time.
It's kinda like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
we were good customers.
Well, we just have to move past this and then deal with it on the back end.
I mean, we use their back trucks, we use all kinds of stuff they've got that we don't have.
I know, I know.
Uh-huh.
And I agree with Jesse, they do charge a lot of money, but
Well, they just straight up sent me erroneous bills
Yeah.
for paving Rob's parking lot.
Yeah.
And they won't even acknowledge
Yeah.
that. I've sat down with him, he's admitted to me face to face,
I'm not
that's a
disputing.
bad bill,
Yeah.
that, and then
Yeah.
poof, they disappear. And,
Not even paid.
yeah, that's where, like, that's when the invoice
There's
came
no
in, I'm
payment.
like, what are we doing here? You're certainly not paving Rob's parking lot, it's not paved. And he's like, oh, wow, and then I had to request timesheets. It's like, the level of babysitting with these people is
And
insane.
that has taxed your time
Yeah.
incredibly.
And then I
It's
specifically
ridiculous.
told them to put a halt on all their work, and then I see 3 trucks mobilized out here, and they're headed over to the Navy base to go do the same damn thing that I told them not to do. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what are you doing? Like, I've given you 3 emails now that no more work is to be done, and you've mobilized. They're like, oh, we ordered a part. I'm like, you have no communication with us. No, you didn't even tell me a part came in. You didn't tell me you're mobilizing. And he's like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. It's like, it's chaos. They're cowboys. At this point,
Yeah.
I'm worried that they're using us as some type of cash cow
Mhm.
with zero oversight from us coming. So it's like, I've turned into a
Jesse, you've
full-time
done
babysitting
well,
job
and
with
you
them.
caught the paving, you've caught those questions in the invoices,
I just
I'll
don't
give you
even
that.
want to
Thank
think
you.
about when can we work with them again.
but we gotta move
Yeah.
on.
So what was that motion for?
He's working on it. He's working on it.
Around.
He's
Yeah.
working on it.
I make a motion that we contact Keller,
Get an
and
engineering
ask them to
analysis.
use engineering to, make that tank safe.
Engineering fix.
Provide engineering.
And then we could build insurance for
Alright,
their services.
All in
right?
favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Very good, it passes. All right, old business number 2, delinquent